We'd like to start out today, this afternoon, with a new session to honor my older brother here, it's Phil Harrison. Phil's been doing this since 1970. He grew up in the uranium camps. He lost the men in his life, the uncles, his grandparents, his grandfather, his dad by clan, and his real biological family. Over his lifetime, he's seen so much the horrors of this horrible uranium legacy. And it amazes me how a person can withstand so much trauma and still advocate for his people. I met Phil about 20 years ago. We approached him. The Navajo Coalition was a grassroots organization comprised of 14, 15 different grassroots organizations. And I said, Phil, at that time, the vice president under Joe Shirley, he was at Fort Lewis College. He was talking to the students. Can't remember his name. The vice president had mentioned that he supported new attempts at uranium on Navajo land. Immediately after that talk, two students called me. I was living in Shiprock. And they said, Mr. Brown, this is what happened. We're trying to get hold of you. So they got hold of me. Is this what the vice president said? Newly elected vice president, not even a month and a half to 2 months. So it was really alarming. So I called different organizations. We have to do something. The administration under Joe Shirley's vice president is proposing some more development, possible development, and embracing uranium as some type of economic venture. So then that's when I call Phil. And I say, hey, Phil, what are we going to do? He goes, brother, get all the uranium people together. Go out, contact the communities. He goes, we'll set it up here in Shiprock. We'll bring our people. So a lot of organizing, not only myself, but many others. We pulled together and we had a big gathering. Over 800 people came to our gathering. And there we invited the president and the vice president to address this issue. And after they supported the grassroots people, Phil's organization and numerous other organizations, that we oppose uranium. And they made their speeches and they said, well, we have other places to go. We said, no. We want to sit down with you over here. And the vice president, then the president, Joe Shirley, goes, well, I said, no, Shinanta, we need you over there. Look at all those people there. We're going to tell them that you didn't want to meet with us, the grassroots organizations. So he goes, okay, Shiak, call me son, right? So then we took him into the back. And there was probably over a couple of dozen Navajo leaders, grassroots leaders, community members, chapter house officials, and we sat down with President Joe Shirley. We do not want uranium. We do not, that's enough. More than anything, we want a ban on uranium, and that's where the banning the uranium movement, that movement evolved.
Moratorium.
The moratorium.
2 more minutes.
And Phil was instrumental in that. We got Schrick and all the organizations, NDOM, Larry King, just numerous, Anna, the late Robert Tohey, Hazel Tohey, we all got together and created that uranium ban. And Phil's been a leader of the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act across this nation. He helped create the movement, a national movement that went to all the states. He helped create legislation. He lobbied in Congress and the House. And all these different communities in Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, they all honored Phil by supporting him. And he mentored a lot of these RECA communities, downwinders. He advised the presidents and the council of how to approach Congress. He made the blueprint for the national movement of RECA survivors. And now, if you look back, all these historic laws honoring RECA through Congress that the President of the United States has signed is because of this vision and dream of my brother here, which is the truth. Before Joe Shirley left, we created a 5-year plan regarding the uranium mining remediation. We put a document together, the grassroots groups for Joe Shirley. With that document, the Navajo Nation were given millions and millions of dollars. And since the beginning of this uranium movement, our Navajo grassroots activists and warriors have never really been acknowledged. We gave our time, our expertise, our research, our plans, our visions. The tribe gets it. They go to DC. Everybody pats them in the back. But really, truly, the advice and the consultation and the words in those documents and legislation came from our grassroots people, our organizations. The presidents, you'll see if you go Google RECA, you'll never see Phil there or any of the other grassroots organizations. You'll see President Joe Shirley. You'll see the speaker here, speaker there, whoever. So right now, Phil he travels all across the Navajo Nation, the Southwest, looking for victims, Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. He goes on the radio, he meets with organizations, he advises the president, he advises the council. And right now, we're in that final phase. Phil will briefly, he'll explain a little of that. There's not enough words to express myself because he's been doing this for so long. He's seen, I traveled with Phil for a couple of years. We went to Eastern Agency, Northern Agency, Western Agency. We had these big meetings where hundreds of people would come. And he would talk about RECA. This is what you deserve. This is how you get your funds for your health. This is what you need to do. And they all come up and they sign the health benefits, all that. Majority of all those people that came, they're gone. They went on to the next world. And Phil has probably met thousands of our Diné people who are no longer here. Our elders, they're gone. So we're the last generation. We're truly the last generation of warriors of our kind. And now we have our young people. We're mentoring them, we're asking them, we're showing them, we're teaching them. We're living by example. We work hard, we sacrifice our time, and we tell our young people, there's going to be a time when you're going to be in our place. You must continue this fight, no matter what. So these are the things that I want to share with you. If you know Phil and if you speak with him, he's a really soft heart, real slow, kind speaker.
2 minutes.
But you see him in Congress, man, he tells them, hey, you guys, it's firm, straight up, no nonsense, fearless. The gentle Phil that you see, wait till you see the other side.
Okay.
So my sister here, Anna, says, hey, we got to bring Phil here. We got to acknowledge him. Phil doesn't really like the parades or the acknowledgement, but we had to kind of grab him and say, come on, Phil, come up here. So we're going to have Phil say a few words and what he's done, not what he's done, but his work. And then my sister's going to present him.
You're right. Thank you, brother. Yeah, to Sister Anna. To Nishiro Arnold, yeah, nan tini benasi tanigi selkenu shenigi asaba hednits, and that you're here, that you're the ones that are the frontliners. You're all also Rico warriors. That you are trying to save the world, your land, your resource, anything that would work to stop this contamination on our land, water, vegetation, and things like that. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for Norman, very strong presentation. Sister Anna, and I was kind of relieved since we spent so much time lobbying in Washington. The latest I've been to DC was June of this year for a whole week. We met mostly with I met mostly with the GOPs, the Republicans, since they were frowning on the passage of the bill. Now that we're at this situation where now, since the bill has been passed, signed into law, and to the point where I am able to get out now and go back to my relatives and visit them and visit our clients, and now the work has begun. We've been having work sessions in Gallup every Monday for Post 71 miners, and since the amendment included Post 71 cancer in New Mexico and some compensable disease that we inserted, there were added categories of uranium workers. 2 of them were added. There's a criteria, so we've been teaching people. A couple of days ago, Congresswoman Fernandez has held a workshop in Gallup. Mr. Calpurdy had organized that, and we spoke about that too. So they're also helping, they're still helping. So that's where things are at. Real quick, my father was 43 when he died from lung cancer. I lost all my uncles. I lost all my aunts, their husbands, they're all gone now. My recent uncle died like a year ago, and I had to facilitate his funeral. So I also been a miner myself, and I also did remediation work in Tuba City, cleaning up that land down there. And I went through an illness, and I experienced how painful it is. Going through medical trauma, and I had a major transplant on my organ. So I have been hurt. So that gave me the desire, thinking of everybody else, where that, they are doing the same thing. We lost a lot of good people. I remember their voices, I remember their faces, people I shook hands with them back 20, 40 years ago. This is my 47th year doing this. And talking about Congress, we have to take Leslie B. Gay, Elvin John here to provide expert witnessing, telling the young leaders there, this is what happened. Wake up. You need to really say that your apology, you got to mean a lot, not just a computer. And I once told Congressman Senator Gosar, I sat right next to him and I said, Senator, I'm an Arizona boy. I'm up northeastern Arizona. My backyard, 16 years of mining, 16 years of damage. People were gotten sick. And I told him outright that, Senator, I said, did you know that we were the first responders to national security during the Cold War? With the threat of Russia, the threat of Germany? Senator, we have nothing. You have not acknowledged the harm that you inflicted, the federal negligence. We woke them up. And that same tone we got to everybody else that we visit in Washington, the halls of Congress. One day, sitting at a lunch, I sat by myself on that side. And I was thinking, what else can we do? What else can we say? How can we do this? And I shed tears. And I even told Boo Nigan, told him that, look, our people are suffering. Our people have died. The legacy of mining and milling. Families were exposed. A lot more damage. Why didn't you do this? Speaker took the chair. You should have had documents right there presenting the Navajo Nation issues and concerns, telling him, Speaker, would you like to have this done? That never happened. We asked to do the database. That never happened. We never got funded. They didn't pay us to lobby. We ran on fry bread money, Navajo tacos, burger sale, Shipra Fair, food sale. We raised our own money for travel expenses. So that's how hard it's been. And nowadays, with this amendment, they gave us only 2 years to file claims. 2 years. It takes a long time to prep a case. You have to order Social Security earnings statement. You have to go get screening. It's hard now if someone's deceased. There's a policy in place that you have to establish an executor of the estate, which the attorney does that. Who has money to hire an attorney? So we have work to do now. We're trying to visit with President Buniger and the Speaker. It's coming up. So that's something that we're still doing. We're at it. And then also the home care, we're helping people A to Z. We're doing that. We're running with a lot of work ahead of us. So I do appreciate what Norman had said, my sister, the support that you all have for our land. I really appreciate that. I'm thinking that I'm not the only one, that you are also on the front line. And now what I have seen some last night, I know what happened with Peabody. I know what happened with Joint Use area. Now after seeing Rocky Flats. Rocky Flats and the state of Colorado were not included in the bill. So we've been helping our neighbors across Shiprock, telling the chair, work with Lauren Berbert. Get Colorado included as a downwind. Now I know why they were excluded. Because of the numerous cancers at Rocky Flats. Now I know. Thank you for doing this. I have learned a lot. Yesterday I was here in the afternoon, so I do really appreciate it. I have learned a lot from here. So I'll be around. My office is in Farmington. Then I live out towards Red Valley. Sometimes I live out in Rio Rancho. Long travel. My reservation truck is almost 300,000 miles. So I have to burn a lot of rubber. So anyway, thank you so much. And there's so much that I can talk about in the process, the difficulties. The law is not perfect. We're planning to go back if the House flips on the House side. The Rules Committee were not very friendly the time they passed. So there's some things, good things that we wanted in the bill when we drafted that bill, were not included. So we still have work to do with that bill, the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act amendments. That it needs some work. So we're in touch with Congresswoman Fernandez, Stansberry, Senator Hawley, Missouri. Guam was left out. My good friend Robert, they were left out. They're atomic veterans. They're part of the U.S. So all of those things are still up. But we're not going to give up yet. We're going to continue to do what we have to do to take care of our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman, for helping us honor our true warrior here, not Ani. We got a t-shirt for you and your honey, your honey bunny.
Yeah, she's home.
Okay. And we got a $500 gift for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh my
for the
gosh.
casino.
Oh, no. I don't go to casinos.
Thank you. If you have,
Thank you, Norman.
thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you.